I want to thank y'all for tuning in. This is the second part of the three-part series of the educational material from the meet and greet that the Northeast Florida Hunt and Fishing Group hosted last month. If you have any questions on the first part of the series, feel free to shoot those questions over to me and I will get those answered the best way I can. But this series here is called Should I Stay or Should I Go? The recommended wait times before looking for your deer. And these recommended wait times are my recommendation, and it's based off of an average of the recommendations of what other trackers would also recommend, based off the basic wait times. But these are the wait times that I recommend myself to the hunters that call me. But we're going to start off with the double lung shot. You're going to physically find at the hit site pink frothy blood. Sometimes that blood can be more red and bubbly, but these deer typically expire within a few minutes, and you'll usually watch those deer go down. The recommended wait time that I suggest if you don't see that deer fall and you have no blood at the hit site or a blood trail is 45 minutes to 1 hour. All right, and we're going to move on to the single lung liver shot. These shots may be with or without gut matter present. Typically, these are your hard quartering shots. What you might find at that hit site is going to be a little bit of pink frothy blood, a lot of dark maroon blood. That may or may not have grit in it. You may have some gut odor with or without that gut matter present at that hit site. And the recommended wait time that I suggest is 2 to 3 hours. I go more of a 3 to 4 hour mark if there is some confirmed gut matter at that hit site. And then we're going to move on to the liver shot. These shots, you're not usually going to hit that liver without clipping the lungs or clipping the guts. You're going to find a lot of dark maroon blood that may or may not have that grit in it. You may find pink frothy blood if you nicked the lungs. You may find gut matter if you nicked the guts. The recommended wait time that I usually suggest for these is 4 to 6 hours. If there's a sign of a liver lung hit, I go closer to the 4 hour mark. If there is a sign of a liver gut hit, I go closer to the 6 to 8 hour mark. And then we're going to move on to the straight gut shot. These are typically going to have a smell that you're going to be able to smell at that hit site. You're going to also find undigested food like corn and acorns, bright red blood, and that bright red blood may look watery or slimy. And with these, my recommended wait time is a minimum of 6 hours. 8 hours if confirmed gut matter is at the hit site. But when we track these, if for whatever reason we jump that deer and we are not able to stop it and dispatch it quickly, I usually recommend that we try to get the dogs pulled off, we back out, and then we wait 6 to 8 more hours before we go back in there and put back on that deer. Typically with a gut shot, once you pull that pressure off, they go in there, they bed down, and if you give them the right amount of time, they will be right there when you come back. But if for whatever reason we go back in there and jump it again, we will repeat that back out and wait process. A straight gut shot has been known in some circumstances that I've dealt with, 12 to 14 hours still be alive, sometimes even 24 hours. So we just, if we have to repeat that back out and wait process when we track it, we repeat it. It's just the best chance of getting that deer recovered. And then we're going to move on to the intestinal shot, which is also called, to me, a hindgut shot. That's going to be further back than your straight gut shot. And you're going to find partially digested food, maybe even pieces of intestines at that hit site. You're going to still find some bright red blood that might have that odor to it, but it's not going to quite smell like a straight gut shot. It's not going to be that gutty odor. It's not quite easy for me to explain what it smells like to me, but it doesn't quite smell like guts. It smells slightly like gut, but not quite like gut. It's just a little bit different. But with these, the recommended wait time is a minimum of 12 hours. An intestinal shot has been known to live more than 12 hours. It's not unusual for them to live several days or even longer than that. So we just recommend a minimum of 12. And same with the straight gut shot. If we go in there and jump that deer, it's going to try to get those dogs pulled off and back out. But we're going to wait at least a full 12 hours before we go back in there and put on it. And then same as with the straight gut shot. If we jump it again, we back out and repeat the wait process. Like I said, a intestinal shot may take several days and even up to a week or more to expire. But as long as you stay on top of that repeating and backing out and waiting the full 12 hours, eventually that deer is going to expire and you will recover it. And then we're going to move on to the leg shot. These are very easily identifiable. You're going to find bone and bone fragments at that hit site. And 95% of the time, any bone that is found at that hit site is usually leg bone. Now, there is some disagreement amongst the tracking community as whether leg shots should be put on right away or not. I've had success going either way, putting on it right away or waiting. My recommended wait time is you can wait up to 4 to 6 hours, but don't wait any more than longer than 6 hours. The sooner you get on that thing, the better. They tend to be difficult to recover. Because some leg shots can be recovered and some can't. But the wait times, I try to factor in a wait time specifically with a leg shot based off of the bone that they have at the hit site, how much bone that's there. And then I have to factor in, are we on lead tracking or off lead tracking? So I have to factor that in as well. Because, like I said, some leg shots can be recovered and some can't. I mean, we have recovered some that were shot almost in the foot, but also not recovered some and shot in the same place. And we've had deer shot in the upper leg that we've recovered and some we haven't. So it's hit and miss with a leg shot. But deer can survive on 3 legs. But I always say that you should always make an attempt at every leg shot because everyone's different. You never know until you go. But that is going to wrap us up for the recommended wait times for those shots. If you have a specific shot that you want to ask about, then feel free to ask me those questions. If you got any questions about that first episode, send those over to me. But I'm going to get us started with the helpful hints and tips, which will be our next episode. And thank y'all for tuning into this episode, and y'all have a wonderful day.